Yay, it's going. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just kind of was like, it's Tuesday, and I finally got a schedule for work today. Haven't had one for, I don't know, the past 3 weeks. Didn't know what we were doing every day unless we were going to be out of town. And then it was like, oh yeah, you're just out of town, deal with it. And now, we had the fun time of finding out you go back to that spot, and we don't know what you're doing then. So I was like, great. I don't know what my timing is going to be like. So I just got a stream. But I had work to do. Said work. So I'm big, big braining this. I'm double dipping. Excuse my chair. It's getting creaky. I don't know if you can hear it. I am double dipping. And I'm just doing work on stream. Ah, so freaking clever. No one's ever done this before. I'm also freaking tired. And this was the only way I was going to get myself to do work. I was going to stream yesterday. That was my original plan. It was probably like Kerbal Space, KSP, yesterday. Um, and then I fell asleep at 8 o'clock. Why does that change so much? Look at that. This is JPEG.png. Actually, that's probably like CR2. And then this is, no, there's more data, more information in this. Look how much sharper it is, though. This thing looks mean. Mean. There's a chip in his grill right there. Actually, who is adding me? What time? That's why they're adding me, because they want to know what the plan is. The plan. What's the plan? Ooh, someone else is talking. Oh, yeah, talking about how impossible it is to get shows with how many freaking subscription services there is nowadays. Which mood? Actually, his headlight has a ding in it too. Look at that. I don't think that's some sort of warping in the camera. Maybe it's not warping. That looks like that might be intentional because there's another one over here. You can see where that's mounted. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that's intentional too. That little whoop. Yes, based off of that. That is most certainly intentional. Oi, did not want to do that. Could have used a car wash. I was at a car show this weekend, like I was saying. And I made mention of it on the post. And this thing was freaking cool. The amount of cars I saw that I'd never heard of was incredible. Stuff like I never knew what a GT90 was. I didn't know the GT40 had a successor that was a V12 quad turbo. I was like, what the crap? What do you mean that's what that is? Alright, so based off of our map over here, histogram map, we have a lot of shadow, which I think a lot of my stuff tends to have shadows. So I don't exactly hate that. Ugh. Oh gosh, the things I'm seeing pop up on Discord are terrifying me. Please do not make one of those. Oh no. My friend is going to do something he's going to regret. So what happens if we raise exposure? It loses a little bit of that sharpness, I think. I think that 0.18 looked pretty nice. Contrast. This just kind of starts to look fake. Oh, that actually hurt my eyes to look at. Doesn't help that I have this big ass light right here shooting down my face. I don't normally do work with this light on for this reason, or with that light on. I normally like to keep it nice and dark in here for when I'm doing this. No, that looks bad. Okay. This is pretty much how this goes. Pull, do I want? If I add the whites, this is going to get blown out because this is a sun reflection, so that's pure white light. Or not pure white light, but that's white light right there. So that's going to get blown out. But I don't want to. I want this thing to pop. This was right about here was the focus of the camera. What the hell is going on over there? Jesus Christ. Why are the boys talking about OnlyFans? Why are they talking about making OnlyFans? I'm concerned. What are they doing? I'm scared. See decays. I like the decays. Basically, to me, this looks like a polarizer lens or like a better kind of contrast. This is what that contrast looks like. Trash. Dehaze. Kind of nice. It's a style, I guess. What does this look like? Ass is what it looks like. That's kind of got a like filmy look to it. I don't hate that. Low contrast, max dehaze. It looks very similar to this, to be real. A little bit darker. Yeah, it was interesting for sure. Other way. Make the blacks a little bit deeper, and then the shadows. Yes. It honestly sometimes looks like I haven't done anything to this stuff. Wait a minute. Who makes these? I have no clue. I cannot read that. Definitely can't read that one. Honestly, it does look like I haven't done anything to it with this, with what we've done here. If anything, that looks a little bit deeper. Probably because the shadows are a little heavier. I like that more. We're gonna go with this. I'm getting kind of annoyed by this. With how bright this bag is up here and this dress, it's kind of pulling the eye away from the car. So we got to go ahead and make a mask. Linear gradient. And pretty much along the line of the car. Yes, is there a way I can feather that? I don't think I can feather this. Lower that. It kind of makes like a faux vignette. The big one here is going to be, though, the saturation. That's how we're going to control keeping the eye away from that. Reducing the color in this area. Now that is pretty noticeable of a difference. Before, after, left, right. Yeah, my eyes are very much drawn to this area before, with how bright it is. Now they are not. That helps a lot with drawing some attention to here. I don't think I'm gonna need to do a matching one on this side because it's already so dark down here. I would lose any I'd lose any information if I was to try and do stuff down here like how I did on, where is it? It's like the first photos I took this day. Yeah, these guys here. You can see, like what I'm talking about, I do a lot more with here. I have a lot of shadow clipping, unfortunately. Although I have some highlight clipping according to it as well, but whatever. Oh, you can see all of the noise from I was shooting at a little bit of a higher ISO. Oh, that's so annoying. That is unfortunate. This Mustang's the same way. Yeah, you can see all the grain from the ISO, all the digital noise. That's frustrating. This is why I'm getting a new camera. I already decided on what new camera I'm gonna end up getting. I just gotta start saving up for it. I'm gonna jump from Canon to Fujifilm. XM5. 1, go mirrorless. 2, go way newer. When did the XM5 drop? Tell you when. Sooner than 2007. That's, I think, when the T3 came out. Was 2000, anywhere from 2006 to 2008. That's how old that equipment is. I'm almost working on 20-year-old equipment. And my microphone wire is running over my keyboard. When did the Fuji Film X M5 come out? 2024. Yeah, alright. This thing, October 14th, 2024. Literally just turned a year old. That is nice and new. And it's a nice hybrid camera and very portable. It was hybrid camera I wasn't too worried about. But the portability is really what sold me on that one. Like over even the XT32 that has the electronic viewfinder. I found I'm holding my camera. I don't have a flip out screen on this thing. And I was holding it like this, but like way down by the ground. You can see for these shots. So that wasn't the most comfortable thing to do. I did actually. Alright, so I got a new camera. But I'm not really using it as a camera. I got the Fujifilm Evo, Mini Evo. Because of the fact that now I need to get a Lightning SD card reader for the iPhone. Because this thing here is a digital camera, but it's also a printer. So I can print photos that I take on this thing or photos that I take on anything else. And if I can get those to my device or to that thing with an SD card reader, like these, I took those on my T3, which, where is that? That's right here. Haven't done anything to that yet. Coffee's in the way of me being able to get my hand over. So these are the two different color settings. This is the natural color, which it looks a lot more saturated on here because I just bumped the saturation up on my camera because I wanted my pink hat to show a little bit more and it's not working. This is the rich colorway, and this was much more accurate to the camera. I really like this. I think actually captured the color of this lens flare down here a lot more, which this was completely accidental. I did not think I was going to get this, but on here it becomes a rainbow, and it's really stinking cool. Like, I'm really happy with how this photo turned out. And you can see I'm clipping a little bit of light there, but nothing's going to fix that. Like, I'm clipping highlights off of silver from the sun. I'm not fixing that. If there is a way to do it, I'm not skilled enough to. I just do this stuff for fun. What were we working on before? That's a great question. I don't remember what photo it was. It's not those. It was a DeLorean. That's right. Which photo? It was this one. See, vibrance. A little bit. Get a little bit of that blue reflection from the sky in there. Dehaze a little bit. We're going to pull the saturation down now because of that dehaze. That is a little too blue. I don't really know how this stuff works. People like say you got to make like an S curve or something, but I always screw it up. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing with this thing. Now this just looks like I turned the dehaze up a ton. So I'd actually want to pull the dehaze back a little bit. And probably pull the contrast back. I mean, that is sharp, and that does look super reflective now. So that's actually not too bad. Split. That's what I want. It does make it look a lot more blue, but a lot more vibrant. The windshield, however, though it's already blue tinted in this area. The fuck did I do? Not sure I did that. The windshield is already blue tinted, so I'm not sure we're actually going to take that much out. Unless, if I went ahead and added another mask. I'm going to linear in this one again. Then pretty much reduce the saturation. Let me jump back to here real quick. Then go back to you. Mask 2. Let me see your overlay. Stop showing that. Not that one. I want to just do this. Does that look weird? I don't know. I think that looks actually pretty okay going across the whole thing like that. Because it further drives eyes to here. There's no stopping people from eventually looking through the whole photo. Like, they're going to do that, and that's why I'm not just like graying that out. That would look weird. But I think that's pretty cool looking. so much of this work is just lowering the aperture as much as it can go and taking the shot. What I shoot this at? Yeah, 47 mil. Like you can see, where did this thing go? Navigator. Like, look at how blurry all this is. It helps create, although this is kind of blurry back here too, but this building is so far away, it's even more blurry. And then coming up right into here too, it's still a little more sharp than the background. It helps create a nice line. I think I probably could have gone, instead of, what was my f-stop, 5.6. I wonder if I went to like closer to 6, would that have kept a little more of the line here? These people were not that far away from the backside of this thing. That's maybe 8 feet away, 10 feet. So I don't know if I'd really be able to separate this line away from the people. Before and after, left, right. Yeah. I think that looks a little sharper, a little bit cleaner. That's a good start for that. Only thing is, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to pull some of the blue saturation out. Not much, but a little bit. Yeah, that was really blue. And we still keep that nice. I think that this shadow here is a little bit richer than this one running across here. So I'm going to keep that. Got that one. You know, I have another good shot inside of the DeLorean. Where is that one at? Is it you? Nope. This is actually taken on this guy. Which, not terrible image quality for a half-inch sensor. This is one of the little effects that it has. It's like a light leak effect. Full sunlight, this is what it's able to do. And then again with the light leak effect here, let's go here. It's okay. It's very much just okay imagery. I'm relatively impressed with what it's doing, but it's not. What was this taken on? .237 mil, 2.0 f-stop. Okay, so this was also taken on. Yeah, you can see it as I zoom in. This was also taken on the Fujifilm, the Mini Evo. And this one looks like I did not. This is probably a whole stop darker than the other one. 4,500 seconds. Yeah, we stepped that down way. Stepped that brightness down. This one works really good. Like that old-timey engine here kind of helps play into that vintage look that the Fujifilm is giving. This was fun. This one, there's a ton of really fun cars like this. I don't think I actually got any photos of that GT90 that I was talking about, at least not on here. No, I did. That was the GT90. And again, I'd never seen this car, never heard of this car. You can actually see how little 3200 ISO, 1/60th of a second. That's about the slowest. That's about the slowest I can shoot before I need a tripod. Really, this is 800 and you can see all the digital noise. I guess I really drove that up. There was a K truck, which was really fun. This image turned out horrible though. Nothing is in focus. This thing's really cool. One of one concept car from 1995. See, you can't really, like the covers here for the exhaust manifold probably, or the intake manifold, one of those two. I don't know if that's intake or exhaust up there. Yeah, GT90. I was like, I hadn't heard of that. Oh yeah, there's a ton of just like GTs and GT40s, mock cars and all that type of stuff. Ton of Mustangs. Honestly, not too many dark horses, and not too many Fox bodies as well, which is a shame because the Fox bodies are really good looking body style. Oh, this was cool, but the next car. Hold on, there we go. Vault Tech truck. Where's Scotty K Fitness when you need him, man? This is the vehicle he needs to be driving. This was cool. The paint on this one was just beautiful. This like, I want to call it like refrigerator blue. I know it's not actual color, but I did not get a great photo here. He's just so blown out. Uh, Another K truck. No, those photos turned out good. This was pretty cool. The old fire truck, but again, it got too dark out and I just could not get a good photo of anything. It looks okay from back here. A small child running into frame. Sheriff. Oh, this dude. I think this is a Camaro. Might have been a Camaro. Yeah, Camaro. Everything on this car was so well done. This gray looked really mean. He had this gold accent like going everywhere. The rear wheels on this thing, super deep dish as well. I got to hear about this car. I spent probably half an hour talking with the owner on this one. Um, this thing's been completely rebuilt. Like, he redid everything on this car. I don't know what car it is. I never asked. But he was like telling me this is a 54 car with a 52 front bumper. The color scheme is from an old Coca-Cola billboard that we saw with this baby blue, the burgundy, and the white. Everything's been color matched. He color matched everything, redid all the upholstery. He's got one of those, the radio in here is one of those where it's like, it looks like an old radio, but it's actually like a Bluetooth radio and everything like that. Like, this whole car was gutted at one point. So it's incredible to see the shape that it's in. Corvette completely out of focus. Some more Shelby Cobras. Oh, Datsun. I was very happy to see a Datsun there. I love this Golf colorway. You see I finally realized, I was like, oh, hey, you know what? I'm running a little warm on my coloring here. And this is, I changed it. Ended up being basically the last photo of the night I took. There's two more afterwards of another car driving by, and then just a group of Shelbys. That was it for that night. I showed back up next day. So it was like 500 cars that showed up to this show. And that's where I jump into these. Um, wow, what photos do I want to work on? I have a ton here. 280. This one needs some brightness. I'm gonna lower the black, but I'm gonna pull some of the shadows actually. Pull his shoe back and push the contrast up. I'm gonna pull some of the white as well, but we can up the highlight again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was right. That looks so much better. Just an instant like, yeah, oh, that looks yeah, we did that. That's right. We did that. I don't understand how people like figure out all the like small details to edit though. Like there's some people who have an incredible knack not only for photography but just for editing as a whole. Yeah, again, I'm really a fan of like adding a little dehaze in. It just does something for boost, like I don't know, boosting or evening out the image. I don't know how to describe it. It just looks right after you toss a little dehaze on there. Also, look at that. This looks. I know there's like digital noise and stuff all up in here, but this just looks better than this. There's no other way to put it. This whole image just looks so much more improved. It's really beautiful cars. All the cars there were. Everything was gorgeous. It's a shame that I didn't do like cars like this. I didn't do it justice with the photos I took. I couldn't get to the right angle. I couldn't see. Nice Porsche. Oh, I got some good engine block shots. That's right. Oh, actually, really funny. I'm going through I'm going through these photos, and I'm looking at some of the engine blocks, and I go, "Hey, wait a second. Which one is it? Right here." Like, hey, wait a second. He's leaking some oil from this spot. So I start checking back through other photos of engine blocks, and I'm like, I'm looking at them all. I'm like, yep, there's. Holy crap! Wait a second. Gold tubing? What the hell? That's right. This was a Le Mans. This was an actual Le Mans car. They have raced this one. This is like a 2016 Ford GT, the V6 twin turbo. I think it's twin turbo. Oh, this one was fun. Just an old Coke truck. I know I've got other engine block photos somewhere in here. There was this. Freaking like this looks like an old. I saw this and I was like, oh, that's like a Camel Jordan or Jordan Camel F1 car. That's what this looked like right away to me. Is it Jordan who was Camel? Was it Benetton who was Camel? But basically like that old Jordan Benetton era F1 cars. That's what this looked like to me. What is this? There's a military truck there. All these photos turned out really good. Old Mustangs are just so beautiful. So easy to take photos of. Where are my other engine block photos? Here's one of them. This one I could not see any oil leaks on. This one was very clean. Maybe right there. That could be rust, but that could also be... That could be a little oil. I don't know. What was that? Yeah, no, these were all vintage cars up here, so any engine block photos would have been down this way. Not over there, because all the engine block photos... The engine block photos we took were of America. Oh, this one was cool. This Speedster in that like British racing green. That was really nice. I don't have another engine block photo somewhere. Is this it? Yeah, I think that's it. I could see. There's another one that I could see an oil leak on. Yeah, right here. You can see it dripping down. This was a pretty cool shot. I wish this window wasn't here because it's adding glare. This would be nice without it. Um, Still a pretty cool shot. I couldn't see anything off this one. It was so glary. There's like some heat marks here, it looks like. But if there was oil, it would have been like in this area where one of these connections are. Maybe there. I don't think so. All of them look like they have that. That might be heat marking or like welds that I'm just mistaking. Oh, whoops. Yeah. Really? I'm drinking coffee. Why am I this tired? Did you guys go back up? Did you guys hear or not hear? Well, yeah, hear that the latest Windows update that they pushed out is bricking PCs that are using USB keyboard and mice. It's like putting them into recovery mode or something like that. I was like, how does that just tells us that you aren't testing this? Like, we already kind of knew that, but they're not doing any form of like testing on the stuff that they are putting out. And all it's doing is hurting the consumer and stuff like this. Watch dehaze, boom, saturation, shadows. Yeah, I mean, you can watch the whole thing just kind of slide to the side. Whereas contrast see, that's the thing, contrast pushes everything away. Dehaze just kind of slides everything towards shadows. It's not boosting everything. Whereas clarity is going to kind of do the other bit of that. Oh, saturation, or low vibrance, sorry. Yeah, just about that. Highlights. Pull the contrast back a little bit here. Because we're kind of recreating the contrast with what we're doing with the whites, blacks, and highlights and shadows. Let's see, how does that look? Oh yeah, it's got much sharper lines to it. And we also kind of knocked down this glow that was coming from down here. That looks pretty good. It's a little stylized towards that contrast look, but I don't hate it. Where is I took? Yeah, these guys. Low dehaze on you. Honestly, do a lot more than just a little dehaze. I can seriously drive that. Just because of how this thing pushes. Pull that highlight a little bit. Contrast. A little bit of clarity. Bang versus bang. Again, it just looks a lot more like it feels like it has a higher clarity. This is one where we are definitely going to go ahead and linear gradient in from this side, just start to kiss the inside of that windowsill, or not windowsill, the inside of that A-frame or A-pillar. Just kind of pull everything from that. Especially pull the brightness out of this. Honestly, bumping up the clarity or the contrast might help. This one I'm mostly concerned about. This guy back here is what I'm looking at for the highlights. I think that'll work. Shadows. Yeah, just kind of drag that along. I think we actually need to push some highlights and whites back into that because now it kind of looks a little bit flat. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. I think that even if it's not, the higher contrast here might be drawing the eye to it, but now it matches the rest of the photo a little bit more. And I definitely think it's more defined along this this lady's back. This line is much more defined on this one than it is over here. So I'm definitely happy with that. Yeah, it looks so much sharper there. It's really cool seeing all the like how they match up the panels and stuff in this and how everything attaches together on an older car compared to how they do it on a newer car. Like there's physical hardware on the outside of this for them to attach to. This stuff on a current car would be just kind of like clipped on. I grabbed my microphone thinking it was my coffee. I might need to go to bed. That is like disgracefully, like, I don't even know. Disappointing, I guess. You can tell I liked this car. I spent a lot of time just walking around it. I love this colorway. This like cream on, what's that, aquamarine? It's a beautiful color. And these wheels too. Just so shiny, this chrome. I think I can actually push the highlight on that, and that would make a lot of sense. Push the highlight deep in the shadow. Makes it really pop. Exposure up a little bit. Contrast. Yeah. Little dehaze. Little vibrance. About white. Oh, that does really well to make the whole thing kind of pop. I actually want to kind of use the black to slider here. Stop myself from clipping too much on that. It actually worked pretty well. Is that circle always there? Yeah. How did I just notice that? What is wrong with me? Apart from the fact that I tried to grab my microphone to drink it. Jesus. I did not get good photos of this car. This is not, no, screw that. I'm not even gonna try to work on those. Yo, freaking, I said it, bro. I ran to this car when I saw it. I was very childish. Um, this thing is, I don't even want to raise the whole vibrance on this. I'm actually pull some of that because I want to come back. I really want to make that red pop. Not that much. Definitely don't want to do that. Yeah, that'll work. What about the highlights? Actually, I want to pull some of the white, have the highlights up, increase the shadow, but pull some of the black. There we go. Not too bad. I like how that red kind of pops a little more now. Very, very nice. Very aesthetic. Very pleasing. These are all basic preliminary edits I'm doing to this thing anyways. This isn't anything crazy. That's the crazy one I've done. I think the one that I spent 8 hours working on here was, where is it? It's not you. This was one of my favorite photos that I took though. Hold on, I gotta find. Is this, am I in the right area? I am in the right area. Oh my word, I cannot find. There's so many photos. It becomes kind of difficult to figure out what's what. Yeah, okay. Where is... What? How is that not where that photo was? I know I have a really close-up photo of a rhino. It doesn't help that I have 2,700 photos that I need to go through here. Nope, not those. Nope, not those. Oh, here it is. This one, I spent 8 hours learning how to try different masking edits and stuff. It is stylized for sure, with the highlights being as bright as they are, and the rhino being as warm and as vibrant as it is. And also the green's a little, probably pull some out of the green here. That looks really bright. Not only some of the saturation, but also the luminance out of the green. That looks a little more natural. Pull a little luminance out of the blue too. Saturation. Pull a little bit out of that. Looks a little better. Still not spectacular, but a little better. That's all we can ask for. I mean, we could ask more of ourselves. Where are my... I don't know if I added those yet. No, I have more photos from here to take or to add. Oi, bring back my scrolling ability. Where is... I waited a while to get one of these photos. Is it you? No, this is not... That's not it. I know it's in here. Again, I have too many photos. I haven't gone through them. Oh, this photo was really cool. I was really happy with how this one turned out. You can kind of make it out. You can also see all the digital, again, all the digital noise. I did denoise this one, but if I denoise them too much, it loses some clarity and stuff. So I try not to use denoise on everything, even though my camera probably needs it. Again, it's old. Struggling with this thing. Where is... You are... This shot was pretty cool. I liked this one. That turned out pretty cool. I have a couple shots like this where I slowed down the shutter speed, trying to get the water to flow smoothly over the edge of the fountain. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Bro. I have 2,000, again, I have almost 2,800 photos, and I think I deleted like 1,000 of them. Just one day standing in line. I was like, I got nothing else to do. Nope, cancel that. That's not it. These shots turned out pretty neat. Getting Tron to kind of fly by there. Yeah, like that. Playing with light streaks. I was messing around with this, which means I passed the Epcot one. I have a monorail shot that I took that turned out really freaking cool. I could have sworn it was by that Guardians of the Galaxy section. Oh, it's right here. Getting the monorail going overhead. I had this shot in my head for about probably 2 weeks before I was able to actually time this. I had one chance to get this thing. It was a 5-second exposure. If not, I was waiting until either I was going home or I was waiting until another monorail came by. I am happy with how these guys in the background here got taken out. The only thing is it added like a little can who this person's head was. But I was like, screw it, whatever. Kind of looks natural on top of that thing, so I was not gonna bother with trying to remove that even more. Oh, cold. Let me go back to the car show. Oh, I have some Philly stuff too. What do you mean none of the files could be found? Am I seriously gonna have to import all those again? I think I'm gonna have to. That's annoying. I did not get good photos of this car. Those suck. Whenever I take photos during the daytime, I'm like, oh, all my camera needs is like a new lens. These are really good photos. And then the second I get to nighttime photos, I am pulling my freaking hair out trying to get these shots. Look at how grainy that is. It is ugly, this photo. And I know that, like, clarity does not make a photo, but it sure as hell helps it. There was a ton of DeLoreans here. That's not the shot I want. This one DeLorean was completely tricked out. Ah, here it is. Alright, I already did some work on this one. With a shot going into here. Hearing the guy talk about this car, you could tell he loved every second of working on this thing. This is another one where I could not, my autofocus actually on, so on this one, I don't know if it's actually going to work. Oh, I don't think the battery's even in here. Keep forgetting to bring home my, something's wrong with the spring on this thing. I keep forgetting to bring home a screwdriver small enough to work on this from work. Yeah, the battery's out of there. So I can either use this and take photos through just like bang, 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 like that, looking through the digital viewfinder, whereas I've kind of gotten good at doing, just kind of from the hip like that. Or I can enter live mode, where it'll pop up on my screen and I can see it here. The only thing is, autofocus gets slow as crap trying to use live mode on this thing. And so you can see how much I'm struggling here to get a good shot. Skeletor. This engine bag was really cool. The Datsun. This was just fun overall to see inside of. Little exposure. Little contrast. Bump up those highlights. And bump up the vibrance and bump up the haze. Yeah, no, definitely not doing that. That does not look good. That also doesn't look good. That looks like Polaroid. But you know what? I have. Wait, move that. I know I have a photo that I was really happy with how it turned out, and I don't think I imported it. But it was a photo of some fireworks that turned out really freaking cool. I think it's that one right there. Move this thing over here. So I have that photo that turned out pretty cool. You can see also the dirtiness I have on my sensor that I need to get cleaned. That one was overexposed. Same with that one. That one turned out pretty good. Oh, that's why. CR2 versus JPEG. So raw photo versus compressed. Nope. Could not get this to focus properly. That one looked pretty cool. I was happy with this. Could I find those again in here? What are they? They are. Oh, I am 600 photos behind up here. What are those? 1700, 1600. I also tried doing this where I zoomed out the zoomed in or out the lens as I was going or taking a photo. Good for interesting movement. I don't know if I'd really think about doing this again, just because it's impossible to tell what this is. So I might have been a subject thing. This one turned out okay, but that's because you can only see it right here. There's a boat going by here, and it gave me this nice little effect. Where is... Oh yeah, right here. I was working on getting a shot with this lightning off in the side. A little plane going by over here. Cool seeing the whole sky light up like that. Oh, that one worked well. Very, very fun trying to get those shots. Wow, that is a sharp image. Despite all that noise, that is very nice. I mean, this stuff makes me excited for if I do get, not if, but when I get that new camera. One, it's coming with a new lens, and two, it's just, instead of a 12 megapixel sensor, it's a 26. Like, I'm more than doubling that. So how sharp am I? Why is that crashing? Um, but like, how sharp are my images gonna look? Not only with a new lens, but also just with a new device. Which I'm also excited to finally have like decent video. Because that thing does, it takes okay video. I don't want to use it for video. I can't even use it for video here. I did use it for one video project for school. Turned out okay. David, welcome in. I did use that thing for video project for school, and that was okay. I didn't really know what I was doing with the camera back then. I just kind of set it up and let it autofocus and auto light and all that type of stuff. Um, but that was, yeah, that was like, I hadn't really started doing any photography back in that time. There's Jurassic Park car was pretty cool at this show as well. This was fun to see. I don't know what this is. If this is supposed to be like a reference to something, I don't know. I've never actually seen the Jurassic Park series, so I don't know what this thing here is. I also didn't really get any good photos of that because I was kind of passing by the Triceratops on top. I forgot about this. Bro, it looks so dopey. Um, Thunderbird. Let me stop looking at that in split view. Supercharger? Maybe? Or is that an alternator? That might just be an alternator. And I'm being stupid and thinking that's a supercharger. Yeah, how would that be supercharger or anything? There's no air intake coming into that, and it's literally in the serpentine pulley system. I'm freaking stupid, bro. I'd be a little dumb sometimes. Ah, this is fun. Again, did not get a great photo of this. You know what? I might actually be able to... Hold on. I might be able to fix this. If I kind of pull that... we gotta keep that up. Gotta pull the highlights out. I gotta raise the shadow and the black so I don't... If not, I'm gonna have an image that looks like this. Vibrance, I guess. Maybe a little. Dehaze, wait, hold on. A lot of dehazing's working there. What if I... Clarity... That's gonna help a little bit. There's just so much of this image that is clipping on that. How does it look compared to the original? It's a little bit easier for me to make out what that is, but this thing is still just so freaking reflective. It's this little plastic cover that it's stored in. It's making this so difficult to work with. Yeah, I don't really want to play around with the texture on this one. I haven't really played around with texture on any of these. They have, I just don't think I've seen the need for that. I guess I could probably come into the mask on this thing in particular. Objects. You're not gonna... No, wait, hold on. I think you're gonna be able to select this thing. I don't want to select that silver ring, though. I want that to be reflective because it's chrome. Okay. That did not work. So we're just going to brush this in. I've had to brush stuff in before, and it's been worth it. Oh, this is not going well already. I think I got to go in further. 200%. Yeah. I've spent an hour or two brushing stuff in on a couple other projects, and it's a pain to do, but absolutely worth it. It made for one of my favorite photos that I've worked on, and that wasn't even like an event. That was just I was off digging around with friends taking photos in the middle of the forest at night because we were going out there for... Originally we were going to go take photos of a meteor shower, and then the freaking clouds rolled in the second we got out into the clearing off in the woods, and we were like, well, we're not just going to walk back now. We wanted to do some stuff. So that's how we ended up doing that. Was a good bit of goofing off, and just lower this slightly. Fill the highlights a little bit. Fill the whites a little bit too. That's about all. I think all I can do for that. Yeah, that looks a little better. I'm going to make that -1 because it looks a little... What do you mean? That was... I don't know why it's telling me that wasn't an actual number. Do I have that? Yes, but still. Oh, bullshit. You cannot find the files. What do you mean? Don't tell me you lost. What the fuck did you do with the file, Lightroom? How the hell did you lose a file? Why did it lose so many files is the question. That's the real concern. Alright, I should have... I ought to have a JPEG of this somewhere. Artwork. Don't think it's... No. That's all the Birds Parade, which I didn't edit that on here. From... Should be in here. Has image. User. Apply that. Let me take that out. Oh, that's why. It just says from. I don't know why it's not letting me. Let's go back. That one. Nope. Oh man, we gotta go way back. I'm gonna add a before tag in here. Add search filter. Before, like, this date. Nope. Let me push that back a little bit more. Yes. Yes. We just about got the right timing on that. Oh, hey, there's my flyers photos. I forgot I have those. Yeah, that looks like that. Jump to that one. Yeah, just save this to screenshots. Pictures. Screenshots. This one. I freaking love this photo. Oh god, I almost choked on my coffee. This took a hand, like, I had to hand draw all of the layers on this, and I'm sad you guys don't get to see that. This thing took freaking work, bro. I bet you I could probably find these photos. They're somewhere. I just got moved. I'll bet you I probably sorted them. 100, 101. Took a ton of photos of the Eagles parade too. I got super lucky. Freaking Thomas Booker hitting some poses on for me here. Like, how freaking cool is this? This is one of my wallpapers as well. I managed to get a black and white photo where the smoke comes out a little more. Where is my phone? Here it is. So here's it currently on. Yep. Like, boom. That is currently my wallpaper. I was so disappointed when we went ahead and traded him immediately after this. I was like, you son of a bitch, Howie Roseman. I trust you. But dear goodness. You ruined it for me. But so each of these, you notice how like these are heat maps, kind of very bright, semi-bright, semi-dark, and dark. That is all hand drawn. I pretty much looked at the original photo on this. Do I have the original photo here? I do have the original photo. So here's the original photo. I'm gonna set these up side by side. That is what the original photo looked like. And this is why editing can freaking matter, because you look at this photo and you're like, oh, this thing is, you're like, oh, this is trash. This is wasted. But then you come through here and it's like, it's like cell shaded kind of. But you can see how I tried to follow this. Like, I kind of looked at this and I was like, all right, there's, hotspot here, hotspot there. But then the shadows are here. And I was like, how can I kind of create definition? And that was my idea, was create layers and zones with shading. And it turned out to freaking be one of the best photos I think I could have taken. And yeah, so much of that is because of freaking editing. I I'm still impressed I did this because this was when was March 7 months ago. I mean you can see image 300 on this SD card. I had not taken a ton of photos. Whereas now I'm on image 2400. Like I have 2000 more photos of experience. And I still took this. Which this one also works really well as a Spotify's in the way, kind of, but also works really well as a background. Ugh. I should probably be where I go ahead and say I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed after ranting about a freaking photo like that. I want to know where these photos went. Why doesn't it have them anymore in here? Where is... Boy. This is my other camera that I use. This is a everyday carry camera. Now I wish I had the ability to put more of these on at once. Why is Lightroom not loading those in? That's weird. I don't understand why you can't find the photos. Wait, you got moved, didn't you? No, you didn't. They're right here. These things are so blurry. It is a vibe, though. Absolutely a vibe. Where is Pookie? There he is. That is Pookie right there. I swear, if the Phillies don't re-sign this guy, I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna flip more than I'm gonna flip after we basically got swept by the Dodgers. All right, I don't care that we won Game 3. All right, Kershaw just was extremely hittable that night. We got swept by the Dodgers. Where are probably DCIF, DSIM? Where is DSIM 100? Why did I go from 100 to 102? Sorry, where's 101? That's confusing me. Where's all of the Flyers stuff? I was impressed by how well this took photos of the Flyers game. This was pretty good. Gritty Bro was on a mission. Like, that's some pretty good quality photo for... I was up in the nosebleeds. Like, I was way out there. And that's the far side of the ice. And you can see the numbers. I mean, you can even see that there's ice getting kicked up here. For a 2007 camera, freaking good. And once I got onto the close side of the ice, I mean, you can make out names pretty much. This one turned out really well. Yo, it's the brink. Yeah, look at how clean this photo is. I'm impressed with how clean this one is. It's the Bobby Brink. Follow the Bobby Brink fan club on Instagram. If you don't, I am an absolute freaking shill for the boys. Tip it. Yeah, you can see how far up I was here. It's not great photos. Oh, alright. I'm gonna freaking nerd out here. Because this is my job, except this is way better than my job. This screen ends here. Like where my mouse is where this screen ends. It then has the other side curves. So it pretty much extends the screen when you're sitting at an angle. I was like, what the hell? When I sat down and looked at it. Like you can more easily see it here as it kind of starts to go around. Oh, there's a nice clean photo. Yeah, you can see everything over on this side. Like, it's not perfect, but it does extend the screen. And I was like, that's fun. That is very much fun. Horror game vibes. Just walking around a cemetery at night. This very much is horror game vibes. That is fun. Too bad I will never do anything with those. I'm gonna put my 128 back in. I got no work done. I yapped for way too long. I got a little bit of work done. We did some basic editing on a few photos, and now I'm starting to wake up because it's getting close to 12 o'clock. I don't know why. Midnight is my most productive time. That thing's clean inside. You can see the grain in here though. There's a lack of information, a lack of light. That's where you can really see the digital noise coming in. And I do hope the XM5 manages to fix that. And I can get rollers probably. That's the only thing. IBIS in body image stabilization would be freaking so nice, but the XM5 is like that big. With a pancake lens on it, I could fit it into a pocket. It's like the biggest thing stopping me from getting saving up and getting an S20 or something similar to that is just I could get like a nicer Canon, but to get a Canon that's portable, very much like this thing was, I have to spend like $1,700 to get like an R55 or R50V. It's ridiculous, the price of that stuff. So the fact that the M5 comes in right at $900 is like, it just pretty much it hits almost every box except for having that in-body image stabilization. But 3 out of 4 watts is, I can live with that. What is this? Oh, it's another Mustang. There's a ton of these things. It's a very popular car at car shows, and for good reason. They are beautiful looking. Oh, There was also a SVT Cobra with the Mystic paint, bro. Look at it. Okay, don't care. Look at that. So freaking... Ow, don't zoom in on the sun. That's so freaking cool. Why did you turn green? I love this, like... Why are you turning green? Oh, I think that's my sign that I should go to bed. I do love this, like, front on kind of 2/3 view. It's just very fun. It's so easy to just replicate. It's so easy to replicate as well. And it works with both angles. Pretty much, you just get close enough and lower the aperture, just so you get a nice border going around it, a sharp line. And keep all this in focus. Just so easy. I did find one thing when I get the S20 or not S20, the XM5. That lens, I don't know if it's gonna do what I want it to do with this, because I was shooting 45 or up pretty much the whole time I was out at car shows. Because like when you get too low and things kind of round and stuff, it doesn't look good. You got to get nice and you got to zoom in and flatten everything out for this type of stuff. I don't know if I have an image that kind of shows. I guess this is probably, yeah, like this is a very similar shot to what I was doing. Same here. You can see how like everything kind of looks weird and warped. It's not a right shape. And we're at 18 mil on that. Very much is like you can see that, and I started moving back. Even 35 didn't look right. And then I started shooting at 50 or and above, and I was like, oh, that looks right. Oh, this was a good shot. This one. So I brightened the whole image overall and added some contrasting into there. Again, use the DAs. But the big thing was I made an inverted, I basically made a vignette. It pretty much just a vignette, but centered around the logo. Inverted ellipse mask, I think is what it's officially called. It's just a vignette. But again, that the whole point of this thing is drawing eyes towards what I want people to look at, and that is Shelby. Now I know I'm not centered, and I won't be. I'm not cropping this thing to, what the crap did I just click? I'm not doing this. Even though that really focus your eyes on that. I don't think it looks right. There we go. Oh, yeah, that shot's pretty. I gotta upload some of these. I gotta keep editing them. I gotta keep editing them, though. I have to edit, and then I'm gonna have to choose which ones I want. I could upload a whole bunch of Mustangs in one. That'd be pretty neat. Yeah, I'm going to bed. I'm crashing. It's 11:38, and I need to try to take advantage of being tired. I should have gone to bed about half an hour ago, and I would have fallen asleep. Now I'm not gonna fall asleep till 2 o'clock, because it's productive hours. That's the problem with having to get up at 6:30 for work. I don't exist from the hours of 6:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and then I take a nap from 5 to 7, and by 12 o'clock I'm like I could take over the world right now. It'd be great if I could stay up 12 to 4 working, get a full 8 hours rest, and get up for work at like 2 o'clock. That'd be fantastic. But I'm going to bed. I'm glad I got a little work done. And I'm glad I managed to put a stream up, because if not, YouTube would have been like, here's what you got up to this week. Fucking nothing, dickhead. I'm getting the fuck out of here. There's quite a few people in here. David, if you manage to somehow ever come back and see this, thanks for stopping by. Everyone else who peeked in and out,